It's a game with one winner. I was like,
And after that, they started chanting my name, and everything else fell away.
Rated E for everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, back with a brand new episode of Rated E for Everything.
I don't know what it is about Zoom, but your opening line, it just hates you.
That's makes me so happy. I love that. It's because I'm
It was like, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another episode of Ready for
guess
Everything.
I can't do loud noises and emphasis. So here's the new opener. Ladies and gentlemen, you're back with a brand new episode of Rated E for Everything.
It worked perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Because Zoom
lost
doesn't
all
take the
of our fans.
fluctuations.
It sounded great. We no one's listening anymore. It's the
They're not
podcast where
listening.
we talk a little about a lot, but not too loud, or Zoom cuts us off.
Oh, guys, are you so happy we're back? Because
What?
I trailed off on purpose.
Okay.
I meant like back on Zoom. That's more what I meant.
Oh,
Aren't you also glad that?
I thought you were like, are you guys glad we're back? Because I'm fucking not. Like,
No,
that's what I
oh
got from
no,
that.
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all. No, aren't you glad that we're back on Zoom with a super good quality and everything else, guys? I'm so happy to be back at school.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Um,
let's talk about something that I can actually enjoy instead.
we're talking about our favorite annual episode, ladies and gents and others. We're talking about C2E2.
You already know we got to do a recap every time we go because there's always new shit for us to discover. It seems every single time we go, there's something new.
Quite
So
literally.
we got you with that new. We got you with that new.
That new good good.
But before we get into the new good, we're gonna hopefully do a successful candy game.
We're gonna do a new good good Cammy game.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, great. In three, two, one, lid.
Prop. Prop and lid. The lid. The lid. The lid. Carl doesn't watch SpongeBob, so
I don't know what that is.
yeah.
SpongeBob, Bob LaPunch,
Spongy boy.
Spunky.
Okay, lid and prop. Okay.
I'm just gonna say the first thing that came to mind. That's the point of this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in three, two, one,
Hat.
box.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
I feel like they put a lot of props in boxes.
Yeah. Yeah. Lid and
Yeah,
you put a
okay.
lid on it. I
I
was
get the
thinking
hat
like
thing
a
too.
prop that
Yeah,
was a
prop that
lid.
is also a lid. Yeah, a lid can
Yeah,
be a
okay.
hat too.
So a
Hmm.
hat and box.
Okay, maybe. All right. In three, two, one.
Top hat?
Costume.
Oh, fair.
What'd you say?
I said top hat, which I know I already said hat, but I was thinking like a boxy
Like,
hat.
yeah. Okay. So costume and top hat. Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I got it. We're good.
Yeah,
I got
totally.
got it.
There's
We
two,
got
and
it.
I'm gonna just yeah, okay.
All right. This is the last one, so we've got to get it.
The last one.
And
I hate it.
are you ready? Are you feeling confident?
No, God, no. You're gonna hate me.
Okay. Okay. In three, two, one. Abraham
Abraham
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
No
Let's go.
way.
That's that shit. That's that shit right there.
Yes. Yes. Wow. I was like, he's gonna murder me.
No, I'm right there with you. There's no way he wore that on a regular basis. It was definitely a costume. He
That
was
was a
doing a bit.
costume.
He was
Yeah.
doing a bit.
No one wears tails all the time.
No one wears top hats all the time. Although I don't know why they're not, because they definitely should be.
Yeah, if we could just bring back top hats, you can wear it with your jeans. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, just you're going out for like a day at the beach with your friends, and you got your tank top on, your shorts, and your top hat.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. I
The
could just see
casual
it.
top hat, patent
I
pending.
was thinking like straight up with the bikini, like top
Oh,
hat.
even better, actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I like that
yeah.
more. Tanning
So,
with the top hat.
oh, love it. Someone animate that for us.
Oh my gosh. So C2E2 2023. Crazy year.
It
Lots of
was.
lots of big names at the function this year. Lots of cool things to do, I would say. So we're just gonna probably run it through you with you guys day by day is probably the best way to go about this, I'd say, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
why don't you get it started? Why don't you get it started? Why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. For people who haven't listened to our annual episode, C2E2 is the Chicago Comic Con and Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. Chicago
Yes.
Comic and
Comic and
Entertainment
Entertainment
Expo.
Expo. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Or this year, as people were calling it, it was the Chicago Chris Evans Expo.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is just a big old convention full of nerds, cosplay artists and more.
And more.
And we
So
go
much
every
more.
year for the last
7 years. This
what
was
is
year
it?
7. This was year 7.
No chance.
Yeah, chance.
No fucking way.
Yeah, chance.
I don't believe you. That's
Yeah, well,
so
it's a fact.
many. What? Well,
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's crazy, right?
time's not real.
Yep, this was the 7th year. I counted
Holy
like a few days
shit.
before we actually went because I wanted to figure it out.
Holy shit. Wow. That actually just like blew my mind. Um, Whatever. Let's run it. So, we got 3-day passes each. Hannah and I have started staying down there for the weekend, and it's been lovely. The very first day we walked in, we walked through the big red arches. There's fanfare, there's a live band always playing something epic.
So
I think
fun.
this year was Star Wars.
Yeah.
And we walked through, and like the very first stall we saw, so if you don't know, it's just like a bunch of merchant and artist stalls. The very first one we saw was a company selling Funko Pops in a mystery box. It was called Mystery Grail.
Super exciting stuff, guys. You know we're suckers. How could we not be?
So we walk in, and I think within the first 4 minutes we were standing there, I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
definitely. It was under 10.
we we did a circle around the table, and I was like, it's $15. Fuck it, let's do it.
And honestly, a steal for a Grail mystery box. Typically, those go for 20 or more
Yeah,
online or
and
something like that, I'd
like a
say.
common pop is almost $15. So like you got me. I'm in.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got one and Carl's like, "Are we doing this?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." So Carl got one and we opened them up and my $15 pop ended up being a $175 pop currently.
That's crazy. Yeah,
It,
she got a pretty sick one.
yeah, it's Perfect Cell from Dragon Ball and it is glow in the dark and also a comic convention limited edition.
Yeah, I don't know what con it's from. Um, not sure
Mm.
specifically, but it's not San Diego, but one of the other. There's a few of the for those of you who aren't avid Funko Pop collectors out there, which I'm sure is the most of
Most of
you.
you.
Some Comic Cons are big enough that Funko like partners with them and has exclusive pops that drop at that con specifically, and then they eventually get released to different retailers and stuff like that. And they usually have like a sticker on there that says like 2823 blah 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 con special edition, essentially, right? So
Yeah.
it had something like that, but I'm not really sure which one it was from. There's like a lot of them. There's New York, Emerald City, San Diego's, some big names. So
I could go get it, but I'm not gonna because if you're watching the video, you see I am in full comfort mode.
yeah, don't go get that.
Yeah. It's a 2020 Comic-Con exclusive. I don't know which kind. It's glow in the dark. It's super sick. I don't
It's
even
so
watch
cool.
Dragon Ball, so I feel like kind of a jerk for having it. But even not being a Dragon Ball fan, it's super dope. Like it
Yeah, it's
looks
super cool.
so sick.
So sick.
And I popped open my little mystery box and there was a star on there saying like holy shit. It didn't say that, but it did. It was like holy
Holy shit, you
shit.
got one.
You did it. Holy shit, you got a grail. And it was like I literally was so interested in what pop was in there. I didn't even look at the star.
That's
I
so
was just
funny.
like, Dragon Ball, no way. And then I like pulled it out. It's like glow in the dark, no
No
way.
way.
That's like, holy shit, there's so many stickers on this bitch. Like, dang. And then Hannah like pulls off the sticky note star and she like puts it in my face, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh.
So we looked it up right away. I think Carl looked it up and it was like going for 175
Yeah.
already. So
Yeah, she got a pretty dope one. I was not so fortunate, I would say. I got just a regular Poe Dameron pop from Rise of Skywalker. A cool sculpt and pose though of Poe, one of the other underused characters from the sequels. So not a bad pop by any means, not a grail or anything either though, but I'm not complaining for $15. I really can't.
it's a rough day when Carl pulls anything sequel for Star Wars.
That yeah, she's definitely right. The sequel pops are they exist. I own some of them.
That's the nicest Carl can be about them.
I do have some.
You do indeed. Now you have another.
I do have one more now. If
Um,
my pops weren't all in boxes, I know exactly where that Poe Dameron would go. Probably with my other Poe Dameron, which is under and I have like a small little shelf under where my main pop storage is, and it's hidden from view, so that's where that one would go.
damn. He said, put it in the
It was
trash.
it's like a little cabinet that you just open. No, no, not the trash, just out of eyesight.
Put it in the eye trash. Don't need it. After that, I think honestly for a while we just wandered because taking in C2E2 is such a feat of its own. Just
Mm-hmm.
looking at people is phenomenal. One of the best cosplay years I think I've seen.
Definitely. And I think that that's because we'll get to it, but Saturday of this weekend of Comic Con was the World of Cosplay Championships or something like that. So it was like
Yes.
some of the biggest cosplayers in the world were coming to C2E2 to compete for the name of world champion cosplayers. So there were some pretty pimpin' ass cosplays on Saturday.
Yeah,
But
for
we
sure.
can we can talk about that a little bit more. I think after we wandered, we actually went to our first panel of the weekend, which was a pretty exciting one and one that I definitely enjoyed. And we went to see Zachary Levi, Shazam star, who plays the actual Shazam character, Billy Batson, like the older version of himself. Also in Chuck and a variety of other TV shows and stuff. A pretty big name actor, I'd say.
Tangled. He's Flynn Rider.
Tangled 2, Eugene
Fitzherbert,
Fitzherbert.
baby. Yeah.
Zachary Levi, guys, people I feel like really maybe they don't hate on him, but they sleep on him. They sleep on him for sure. Because he's like, not only is he a pretty solid actor, but he's a genuinely great guy, like a really good person. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am definitely one of those people. I have slept on him because I was always like, yeah, he's cool. Like, yeah, when I see him, I'm like, Sure, cool, whatever." And like Flynn Rider is my favorite part of him. I was like, yeah, but beyond that, whatever.
yeah,
I haven't watched his Shazam movies not because of him, just because of my continual disappointment with DC.
that's okay. You
Um
got to keep that aversion up.
yeah, yeah, I haven't watched Shazam or Aquaman or anything
But you saw
recently.
Black Adam.
Yeah, for $5 on a Tuesday, baby. Um, yeah, I always was like, whatever, he's there, he exists. And I will tell you what, after that 1.5 hour panel, I am the biggest Zachary Levi fan. Like I'm so impressed with him. He stole my heart, made me laugh, made me cry, made me interested to watch his other things,
Yeah.
and made me think about my own fucking mental health in an hour and a half.
It was impressive. It was impressive. He really did do all of that. He's so much fun. I watched Chuck. Chuck was the main series that Zachary Levi started. I think maybe like when he was like coming to rise to stardom, I'd say like that was probably his like biggest ticket to fame before he really made headway into other stuff. I mean, he was also in the MCU. He played one of the Warriors 3, one of the unknown Warriors 3, another group of fantastically underutilized characters. And guys, seriously though, Chuck is a fantastic series. Besides the ending, that could be a little bit better for me, but that's just a personal preference. I think the series is really fun. It's cute. There's really cool action. There's a really not relatable, but it's like a good romance story that keeps you invested in these characters as well, that builds throughout the whole series, as well as like complex dynamics and relationships between the already established characters, and everything that the main character goes through as well is like kind of crazy, to be honest with you. So I could not recommend watching that enough. I liked Zachary Levi before I saw it, and then I watched Chuck, and I liked him infinitely more. And then I saw him at C2E2, and it just increased even more.
Yeah, he's a genuine sweetheart. He came out with so much energy. He literally was the only one there, that we saw at least, that actually was like, I don't want a moderator. I don't want any built-in regular fucking questions. I want
Mm-hmm.
to get straight to talking to you guys. And he stood up the whole time. He was so fucking energetic. He's really good looking. He
Yeah.
was hilarious. He he's the first like Hollywood star that I've seen that instead of being like when asked about like what are your tips for like the aspiring actor, instead of being like just keep trying and follow your dreams or be like be prepared for a lot of no's but you'll make it eventually,
Yeah.
he was like, how old are you? 16? Fucking wait. He literally was like,
Yeah.
don't.
He did specifically tell a girl who asked like about, she was like, I'm trying to become like an actor, so just wanted to see like what your thoughts were. And he was like, you're only 16 years old. I would wait until you're at least 18, and maybe even not then.
Yeah, that was so real. I was like, damn, dude, that's real advice.
Yeah,
Instead
no,
of
that's real
like,
as fuck.
you got this, follow your heart, every celebrity, take the leap, just go for it. He was
No,
like, don't fucking do that. He's like,
don't.
work on your skills, hone your craft, become yourself, and
Yeah.
then try.
Yes.
That was super real, all around, just so genuine, so sweet, and a little bit raunchy, which is like right where you want
Perfect.
someone.
Exactly where it needs to
Right.
be.
Yeah, amazing. He showed his taint to the panel. That
He
was
did.
great.
He really did. He talked about how he was pooping in the Shazam
So just
suit.
the right amount of raunchy, you know.
Yep. Yes. What
After
else? What
that,
happened after that? Was it more wandering? I think we got launched. It's more wandering. Obviously, I purchased the pop at some
we
point. I got
watched
a
some
really.
of that K-pop contest. Not
Oh
contest.
yeah. Yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit last year, but essentially what it is they like a group of people, they come and they DJ like K-pop songs. And so a small gathering of people typically sits in chairs like in like a small square or something like that, and they play a song, and if you know the dance to that song, you're supposed to jump up, get in the square and start dancing. So it's always a lot of fun. It's almost like an impromptu kind of like limited flash mob
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to see like how dedicated some of these like people are to learning these dances and stuff like that. It's crazy, especially
Yeah.
considering that we watched like probably at least 10 different ones before we like walked around or anything like that,
Yeah,
and walked away.
they're like snippets of the chorus, and it's like it's its own culture. Like these people, these shy people who I saw being shy on the sideline, they
Mm-hmm.
find like their chorus, the ones they know, and they jump in, and these people have studied the choreography. They know what they're doing. There's sass, there's feeling, and I'm jealous. Like I'm
Yeah,
like,
they kill that shit every time.
I want to be that dedicated, that like passionate about anything. That's amazing.
I was a big fan of it. That was the first time I had actually seen it. You guys had told me about it last year, but I had never actually seen it. So very cool thing to bear witness to.
Yeah, for sure. After that, I think we just did some shopping for quite some time.
Yeah, until we went to another we went and played some Marvel trivia, which was super, super, super tight. Super fun.
I
Guys,
almost
how
actually forgot about that.
let me ask the listeners something. Can you tell me, listeners, how do you imagine a Jeopardy game with 150 horny Marvel fans looking for free prizes will go? Let me answer poorly.
Yeah.
When the system in place is, let's see who can raise their hand the quickest in order to answer this question correctly. Personally, that wasn't really working for me. And they were just on some like complete fuck shit during this trivia game, guys. They, at one point, somebody got a question like half wrong and they gave him the full prize when previously when that had happened they didn't do that. And like
I
that
just
irked me like a lot. I was like, why?
if you ever want to watch Carl turn increasingly more red and more angry in like a 10-minute period, watch someone fuck with his Marvel trivia because he will eventually just burst. Um, that was a trip to watch on its own. Yeah,
They
they had no system, they had no organization, and they were not prepared for that many people.
no, they weren't. They even said that they weren't prepared, but I mean the fact they admitted that didn't make me feel any less, like caring towards their plight, were there. Like not one had a personality. Not one of you could find a personality somewhere, making horrible jokes, making like terrible calls on these Jeopardy questions. Like I can't even like I couldn't comprehend it. I was like, you guys, you have a company that does this for money? That's wild.
They literally at one point they're like, okay, we can't keep track of this, so wait till the question is read and then you can answer your hand or you can raise your hand to answer. And then they were like, that was too chaotic, so wait until we say go after the question is read.
And that
And
was
then
even worse.
yeah, and that was worse. And then they just like dropped that and they were like, just go once we finish the last letter of the sentence. And it was just a fucking mess. And they had one guy looking for hands in a room of 100 people. And like, they asked the same question twice. Like, someone didn't get it right and they asked it later. And everyone's hand shot up because everyone in that fucking room Googled it.
Yeah, yeah, yes, correct.
It
Like,
was
do you
a
not know how
mess.
Jeopardy works?
Uh,
They
they
wanted to give those prizes away.
Yeah, it was all their merch and a couple other cool things, but
They had some okay. Admittedly, some of those questions had some dope shit. I think there was like a 400 level question about Infinity Stones, and it was the Lego Nano Gauntlet from.
yeah.
Which I mean, that's fucking sick. That's like a $65 purchase for free. Okay, great. There was one that had like it was pops, like various merch, like character trading cards. Like I mean, the prizes weren't shit that they were giving out. You know what I'm saying? Like they were some decent ass prizes, but their execution was just piss poor.
Yeah, if you're having Chris Evans at C2E2, you have to expect to have lots of Marvel fans and be prepared when you choose to do a Marvel panel.
Yeah, and they were not prepared. They were
They
not
were
prepared
not.
at all. During they were at the end just so that I could get this off my chest and so that all the listeners can hear. They were like, "Let's take a picture." And for anybody watching the video, this was my face that I was making in aforementioned photograph. For
For
all
people
those
who are just listening, that was Carl flicking them off with both fingers while pulling his eyes down and sticking
and
his tongue out.
yeah, so pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I hope they saw it. I hope they liked it. I hope they posted everywhere.
They probably have already.
And then after that, Dead Space? Not the game, just like I'm having a blank space in my brain between
It's
the
so
next thing I
much.
can remember is playing Trivia Murder Party, and that's it.
Well, our friend and previous guest on the show, Austin, he showed up a little bit late during that day.
Oh, yeah, super, super
Um,
cool.
he was doing a weekend full of Ultra Sabers, which is a lightsaber brand that makes very high quality lightsabers. And he pulled a mystery box. It's $75, and you get what you get. And it's super rare to get sound or like not common colors or hilts with any kind of upgrade on it. And this motherfucker's first Ultra Saber that he pulled had premium sound. It was called the Raven, which if you don't know, it's a black and silver hilt with like claws up the saber.
So sick, so sick.
It was insane. It was so
Yep,
crazy. I think it was blue, if I remember right.
it is
Maybe
blue.
green.
Yeah, yeah. The first one he pulled was blue.
Yeah. So that I kind of estimated, and then I built it online later, and it's about a $400 saber
Pretty sweet.
for 75 bucks.
Pretty fucking crazy. Pretty fucking crazy,
That
you know?
was super sick.
Yeah, Austin had the God pulls this weekend, and you'll see that again come Saturday's events.
Come every fucking day that he was there.
A highlight of the weekend for me was definitely when we played Trivia Murder Party. They were chanting my name, guys. They were chanting for me.
The highlight of your
They wanted me
weekend.
so bad.
It's
A
everything
room
Carl's
full of
ever
like
wanted.
120 people. I was the underdog. There was no reason I should have won that game. Guys, if you've ever played Jackbox games before and you've heard of Trivia Murder Party, you are essentially there's 8 players who get stuck in a house. You're playing trivia. If you get the questions wrong, there's different challenges. You die, and you can still win if you die, but like it's less likely. So by the end of the game, I had made it through some pretty insurmountable challenges. I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely should have lost at least 2 distinct points I can think of. And it even took me fucking over to Hannah in order to actually secure that win spot.
Wait, wait, I need to tell this. This was the coldest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. So there, okay, mind you, there's a room of about 160, 170 people, and that's just the ones that are playing. So there's
Yeah.
probably more. And there's 8 spots in a game. So
Yep.
do that math.
Do
Not good
that
odds.
math.
Not good odds. And I'm sitting next to the 2 people that get in the same fucking game somehow with
Yeah, so we
lightning
played the
fingers.
second game. Hannah and I were both in the second game.
So they're both in the game. I'm sitting here helping them both with any answers I can. Like, I'm like, yes, go team. We're gonna win together. I'm not even in the fucking game, and I'm like, let's do this. And Hannah is like hasn't missed a question. Carl's missing a couple here and there because he doesn't trust our instincts. And somehow passing the challenges to like stay alive after getting a question wrong. That
Crazy.
pure luck. And then him and Hannah are the only 2 left. So right now I'm like, fuck yeah, we're winning this bitch. And you can like see it on the screen. So people are seeing like Hannah versus Carl. And they both get a question wrong. So they both go to like the shit house where you have to try and survive. And it's like, here's this money. Like, give your counterpart a certain amount of money. And if like they get the higher amount, they lose. And I'm sitting next to them. They're sitting next to each other. And I'm like, guys, just give the same amount. Like, just do it together. And Hannah's like, okay, Carl, what are you doing? And this motherfucker turns his phone away from her and goes, I don't know. And she's like, we only have 30 seconds. What are you doing? Like, how much are you giving? Like, let's do this. And he goes, this is what Carl says. This blew me the fuck away. This motherfucker goes, it's a game with one winner. You just watch Hannah's heart shatter. And Carl fucks her over to get the lead and win. She stood no fucking chance.
So we each got $500, and the suggestion that both Chanel and Hannah gave me was to just each give each other 250 because there was other stipulations for like how much you can give and like you couldn't go over and like if you went 2 over or something like that, then you lost instead. Whatever. So Hannah gives me 250, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was kind of a shitbird in this situation. And I gave just 50 extra, 300, so that Hannah barely lost.
Cold
Barely.
as fuck. The way you said it too. It's a game with one winner. I was like,
And after that, they started chanting my name, and everything else fell away.
he didn't
Everything, I
care
just stopped
anymore.
paying attention.
Carl is 100% fully the person that if we're in like an apocalypse, like a zombie apocalypse, if killing your friends meant like the people in the town loved you, he absolutely would kill his friends.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
How dare you? I resent that.
Am I
My
wrong?
resenting look. Yeah, so then it was getting really close, guys. Some guy almost overtook me. Like at the end, you basically like move along a little screen, and if one of the dead ghosts overtakes where the live person is, then they're the one who's winning. So Stinky Pete was in my ass.
I'm sorry, what? One more time.
Stinky Pete was on my ass. He
No,
was
you
close.
said you said in, I'm pretty sure.
He was close. It was almost in. It
He
was
was
just the tip.
probing.
He was past just the probe.
Whoa.
We were getting well into shaft territory before I had to slip it out and run away.
My God.
So anyway, then they're chanting my name, right? And which is even crazier as I'm winning, clearly the underdog of the whole situation. And then while they're chanting my name, after I won anyway, then the guy who lost to me, Stinky Pete, comes up to me, shakes my hand for being such a real, genuine G and player. I get some pins, I get some other cool shit, and then we're getting up to go, and the MCs are like, oh, guys, Carl's leaving. Every single person in the room goes, bye, Carl. And
And
that's
the
how you make
rest
an
was
impression.
history. That
I don't even
was
remember the rest of the night.
he blacked out after that. We carried him the rest of the way. He was just gone.
I was just in pure ecstasy. Just
Yeah.
pure ecstasy for the remainder of the evening.
I was equal parts like super excited, super like, wow, that was shitty, but I get it. And then also like, dear God, if any of us were to get our name chanted, why did it have to be Carl? Because it will never go away.
Oh, never. No, no, never. Because I mean, how often does a room of 100 plus people chant your name? It's not frequently. It's not often, guys. It's not often.
Oh man. So we
I've been
know
trying.
now if the
Chanel.
podcast ever blows up, just make sure that we start any show with you guys chanting Carl's name and he will need to go change his pants.
Yep, that's a guarantee. Poop and cum. And guys, Chanel took videos of them chanting my name, so there's receipts. So if you are questioning me, they exist. And I've been trying to save them to my camera roll since that night. And because I think they're like Snapchat videos, I can't fucking save them. And I'm super, super pressed about it because I'd like to have those forever.
I can
But it's
send them
okay.
to you on
They're saved in the
Facebook.
chat. Nice. Get some nudes sharing. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. Slide in my
yeah.
DMs.
I got you. We'll just fill the Rated E OneDrive or the Rated E Google Drive with nudes and videos of people chanting your name because that'll be like your tipping point.
Also some JOIs.
Yeah.
Um so then this is where shit really got crazy because during Trivia Murder Party, the tornado alerts went off, the severe weather warning for Chicago went off, which was even crazier. It's like every single person in that room got a severe weather alert. And then we had family members calling us being like, hey, are you guys dead? Like, is everything
Just
chill?
wondering if you're dead yet,
Not
honey.
chill? Like, so also for anybody who's been downtown and in, I feel like I can say this, C2E2 is in McCormick Place. From like a certain aspect, from not a certain aspect, from a certain point of McCormick Place, you can look out windows and see onto the lake. The rain was coming down so hard with such crazy winds that typically the lake, which is probably pretty close to McCormick Place, like within visual eyesight, like that you could see on pretty much any time of day, even night, was visible, invisible to us in
Yeah.
McCormick Place. So we were trapped. We were trapped.
See, I am so on the opposite boat. I had family members calling, like, you're in the city. Oh my God, you're downtown. Are you okay? Are you safe? Are you gonna make it out alive? And I was like, guys, we're in the city where tornadoes don't typically come through because there's not enough
Yeah,
room. We're in a giant steel fucking building.
no,
We're
literally.
fine. You're in like a little wooden hut down in the suburbs. Are you okay? Like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
I'm more concerned about your well-being than mine. If anything, I'm probably safer than where you are right now. Like,
Listen, if I die with Chris Evans, I die with Chris Evans. It's just
yeah, if the tornado decides to take all of C2E2 away, well, at least I got to go with some of my favorite actors.
yeah. That pretty much capped off the night. There was a couple other things we wanted to do, but they ended up being full or I lied. There was one more thing. Um,
I'm not
I'm
talking about this.
I'm gonna talk about it. We went to a burlesque show for nerds, which they aptly called the Nerdlesque. And it's like a unprofessional version of a burlesque show. It's like a traveling volunteer type thing. And it was the host was fucking hilarious.
Oh, she was great. She was fantastic.
I would pay money to just hang out with
See
that
her do a stand-up
host.
routine.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Um and the very first performer, their pasty flew off. So like immediately just like nip slip, had no idea. There was just a whole show with some nip out. Uh
Some nip out.
and then it got weird because like it's C2E2, so they're cosplaying and it's for nerds. But then it was just like not like I'm sitting here like, it's gonna be like Wonder Woman burlesque. Here we go. And
Yeah.
one of the performers that came out was in a King Kong outfit. So if that tells you the twist that it took, we were like, I think we can call it a night, to be honest.
I think we can call it a night. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I try to be, I think she even said this. I try to be like fairly accepting of kinks.
Yeah.
But then she started talking about sounding, which if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to explain it here. But you can go not look that up, please,
Yeah,
because I
don't
wouldn't.
do that.
I don't recommend it. But it's not good. And furries. That was when I was starting to be like, maybe we're in the wrong spot.
I consider myself pretty open-minded, and there's a point where King Kong was fucking a Barbie doll behind the Empire State Building, and I was like, you know what? I do a lot of nerdy things. This is not one of the things I would have put on my C2E2 bingo card. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I
Like,
think I bingo.
yeah, you got me. Wow.
I guess. What the
The
fuck?
the prize. Wow. So I was like, I'm good. You guys ready? And Carl's like, yes, please. So we dipped. It was fun. It was high energy. That was hmm
There was some energy.
So we left. I don't even know what happened. How did we get home? Did you drop us off? Why don't I remember the
Wait, what the
night?
fuck?
I
Oh,
think
yes,
you
yes, I
dropped us
did.
off,
Yes, I
right?
did. Yeah, yeah. I was like, I was trying to remember too. I was like, did I really go all the way back? Really? I couldn't remember doing that.
Just so you know, neither of us were drinking all weekend, so
No,
we're
no.
just fucking dumb.
Like
Oh,
no alcohol was had over the weekend at all.
Hannah had a couple beers, but she's the only one that drank all weekend. Well, Austin, I think I had a couple too, but me and Carl were not
Still,
having it.
no. We were in our own little worlds anyway. We didn't need
Yeah.
alcohol to make it any worse.
Yeah, right. Day two,
Day
Saturday.
two was fucking crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Day two starts off with a bang. I think you should talk about this.
Day two, well, for me, the first thing was my brother and his girlfriend came, and we've never been early enough to quote unquote rope drop with
Yeah,
C2E2. We always come a little bit late because like, whatever. Like Carl said, we're kind of learning every year that there's so many more things that we can do. So this year we're like, all right, let's get there on time. We got shit to do.
yep.
And so we got there before a rope drop, which was a whole new level of anxiety inducing crowd, which I was not prepared for. Um there there was probably I don't estimate, but probably over 10,000 people just waiting in a horde. And
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of motherfuckers for sure.
yeah. And that was a little intimidating, but I was ready to go because the very first thing we were doing that day was an Avatar, The Last Airbender cast reunion and panel. And it was everything I hoped for and more.
Yes.
Even just beforehand, like walking in that room with hundreds of people that love Avatar in Avatar cosplay. They had all the cosplayers get up on stage and they took a picture and they played some of the Avatar music and I literally cried. I don't know why. I was like,
So
this
good.
is so emotional. It's just a good place where you can be where everyone's happy and there for the same shit. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the point that they pushed a lot this weekend was like this is like somewhere where you can like, you can't go to your job and start talking about Star Wars. Like it's just not gonna fly. Like most people are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? The trade war? The huh? You said what? The Galactic Federation? What the fuck are you going on about? No, dude, you can say that shit at C2E2 and everyone's gonna be like, oh, of course, the droid attack on the Wookiees. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, it's so clear
Literally.
to me, you know? And the Avatar panel was fucking awesome. It was Dante Brasco who voices Zuko, and then Jack something something. He has two names who voices Sokka,
Desana,
and
I think.
I want to say the it was Aang, the guy who voiced Aang, and I think his name was
Zachary?
yeah Zachary. And the girl who voice acted Katara,
May.
May, she was supposed to be there, but I'm not even sure if she was supposed to be at the panel. She wasn't. And I'm not even sure if she was actually at C2E2. To be honest with you,
She definitely wasn't there Saturday and Sunday. I don't think she was there Friday because I saw a post saying that it had something to do with her travel plans. They got messed up, and I'm guessing because of the tornado. Um
oh,
and they got messed up and she just wasn't making it. It was just kind of weird to me that they weren't bringing it up at all or like
I
saying
know
anything in
it's
the
so
panel.
weird to me. Like, why would you just like not say anything? Especially because like her name was listed on the roster and everything, and it's not like they were like not. They kept bringing her up, which is why it was even more confusing. So
Yeah, I thought they would at least be like, we're so sad she couldn't make it. But then, like, I didn't know about the travel thing until later. So every time they said it and then, like, didn't explain, I was like, oh my God, what if something happened? Like, what
yeah,
if
literally,
something's
what the fuck?
wrong?
Yeah,
So I'm sure they were told by their, like, PR managers, like, just don't mention it. But
yeah,
it was super heartwarming. It is the very first comic convention that the voice actor of Aang has been to ever, or been as a guest ever.
yeah. Because he said that he had been to Comic Cons like actual just to go, but he had never been like a part of a panel or anything like that. So I think that was pretty. It was pretty cool to be a part of his first one at least.
Yeah, and he was so cute
So
and
sweet.
so sweet. And Dante Bosco, I would die for, and Jack Desana, I think his name is,
Mhm.
steals my heart as Sokka and as Jack. Just love
He
him.
was so funny. His comedy during that whole panel was on point.
Yeah,
Kept making jokes about April 1st because it was April Fool's Day, so he was on top of it. He was on
yeah.
top of it.
Dante, you can tell he's a seasoned veteran and has been through this because he was so comfortable, easy to talk to with the moderator, and like prompting the other guys to answer questions more. And they were so cohesive, yet like you found out that Aang has never recorded with anybody else. He's been in a room by himself because he was 11 years old and lived in a different state. So he was like,
Yeah.
this is like a reunion, but also it's only like the second time I've ever met Jack ever. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah. So
Insane.
that was a super heartwarming panel. Made me cry on multiple occasions. Um, I don't know. So it's so weird watching a panel of some of your favorite animated characters because you can literally close your eyes and like just
Hear them.
imagine you're talking or you're listening to those characters in the room. It's really weird.
I loved every second of it. It was a great panel.
Mm.
That was a star-studded panel day for Saturday.
Yes. You want to talk about the next panel?
I mean, there's some stuff in between. What did we do in between? We walked around. We bought some stuff. I bought two more pops. Um,
Austin showed up and got another lightsaber.
yeah, so then Austin showed up and he bought a lightsaber for his um brother. Oh
Hmm.
no, he bought two more. He bought one and he pulled a black hilted lightsaber, which is already dope because the black hilts are significantly rarer. With an orange blade, which is pimping. And then this bastard, he pulled another one, with a just all silver handle, but very like ornate looking silver that had sound again, another fucking expensive ass sound system, and was
Crazy.
green and was green. So the fact that a homie managed to pull two fucking sound system like lightsabers in a weekend, huh?
Yeah, fucking
Hello?
insane. And the silver hilt, although I think it was all silver and super clean looking, it also had details that like came off of the hilt. Like it wasn't just like a regular smooth
Yeah,
hilt. It was
very
like
ornate, very ornate.
super cool. I'm like, this motherfucker. And I told him, I said, you have like a lightsaber horseshoe up your asshole. I don't know what it
Mhm.
is.
Oh, or was it red? Was it red and not orange?
His brother's was red.
I thought he gave the green one to his brother because that was the other one was sound.
He
He
gave
said
The
I don't
one
remember.
with sound to his brother, I think.
Yeah, and then the other one was red. I think I said it was orange because
Yeah.
Cody's girlfriend got one as well, and I think hers was the orange one, and I'm
Yeah.
fucking it up. I'm
Yeah,
fucking
she
it
had
up.
a black and orange one, and I remember that because Cody's like, it's like Halloween, it fits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everybody got really, really sick lightsaber pulls over the weekend, which was a definite W. I didn't get any. I almost contemplated one, but I wasn't going to be an Ultra Sabers purchase. A different company almost sold me because they had like um super, it wasn't super cheap, it was a little bit more expensive. It was, instead of 75 it was 100 for like the most basic one, but it was color changing and had sound and battle tested like durable blades all for $100, and it just went up in price with the like actual hilt. So like it was based off of hilt price and nothing else, which I thought was dope, and I definitely considered it because I like the fact that you can change the colors and the sounds.
Yeah, it is super cool. I have two that I actually got on Amazon from a different company that are just like that, and they have like 6 to 8 profile sound profiles on them that you can
Yeah.
change for character, and then you can do all the color changing, and they are incredible. I would highly recommend them, but also have like this weird brand loyalty to Ultra Saber. So
I mean, how could
um
you not? They've been there for us since the start. Like
yeah, they started this. They did this. I did
they
not get a
did. They
lightsaber
did.
this year for the first time since the like we started going because I'm going to Disney at the end of the month, and I decided to
Woo!
splurge, and I'm doing Savi's workshop, and I'm building my own saber, getting the full experience. So I had to just grit
So
my
sick.
teeth and watch everyone else get sabers for now.
Oh man. Yeah, but and then we walked around a little bit more. I tried to go see some a Studio Ghibli panel, but like that was full. They were gonna be making noodles. I was really hyped. Like it was like food in the making of like Studio Ghibli like food like in real life and how to make it. And I thought that was like a super dope concept. And when I got there, it was like more than 15 minutes before the panel was even starting, and that bitch was already full. And I was like, holy shit. I shouldn't have underestimated the power of nerd foodies. Like that was my
Oh
bad,
yeah,
definitely. I think like
especially
I feel
Studio
like a lot more
Ghibli.
nerds use cooking. Yeah, yeah. I think that there's a lot more nerds who use cooking as an outlet than I think.
Oh yeah. And Studio Ghibli, I mean, there's literally lo-fis dedicated to Studio Ghibli food.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it is, and I was super hyped for that panel, and I don't remember exactly what was going on, but the way the day played out, like we didn't have time to eat unless we chose panel or eating. Like, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna try to eat. And Carl came back super disheartened about the panel anyways, and I was like, oh man, I thought at least one of us was gonna be able to see it.
I know. What a shame, right? Such bullshit.
And then after that, there was a very, very special panel that Carl went and nabbed some spots in line for, and we ended up we
Y'all, they were doing a 15-year Star Wars The Clone Wars reunion panel with Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka Tano, James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Matt Lanter, the voice of Anakin Skywalker, and Sam Witwer, the voice of Maul. So I showed up to the panel maybe 50 minutes before it started, and we had like separated a little bit. We were kind of doing our own thing, and when I got there for these panels, like they have all these big name panels on the main stage area, and they make people like line up outside to wait if there's something already happening in that room. So while I was waiting, I got in line and I was in column number 8 out of 13, which meant that the first 7 were already filled. Before when I texted them when I sat down, like Hannah and Chanel and everybody else, that like, hey, these spots are fucking filling quickly. Like we like you guys are gonna need to get here. By the time they got there, which was less than 10 minutes, all of those columns were already filled. And I was like, huh.
we got there, and there was a person holding like a "This is the end of the line" sign. Really, and we like went to get into the end of the line, and she's like, "Hey, it's capped off," and we're like, "Huh? Like this is not enough people to fill that room. Like, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Yeah, we're not having anyone else in line because they expected the panel that was currently in the room, most of the people to stay." Which it was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer panel, which Hannah pointed out that those two don't generally like coincide.
No, let me tell you that there was approximately zero overlap because I watched like hella motherfuckers leave that Buffy the Vampire Slayer panel. And when I saw that many people leaving, I was like, excuse me, y'all need to get here ASAP. There's lots of motherfuckers leaving. That means more space is going to be available. More space is
Uh,
going to be available.
for the record, we never left. We had hope the whole time.
Okay, good. Okay,
We
good.
stayed there.
I was worried. And then as I was getting in because they were so far behind me in line, I was like, oh well, like I'll just save them seats. As I'm walking in, because I was like in the first like 8 columns of people, because you guys are just in like the long line at the end, right?
Yeah.
They were like, no saving seats. Like they were especially like up your ass about like the saving seats. They wanted to get as many people in that bitch as possible. So I was like, okay, just gonna go find a little seat then and not be concerned and wait for my friend.
Um, yeah, so we ended up getting in and we were in the second to last row. So we barely made it.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
realize you guys were that far back there. Holy shit. I saw you all
yeah.
come in, but
Yeah, and go ahead and tell them about the panel.
oh my god, it was electric. I cried. I cried several
Me
times during
too.
that panel. That was a great one. I Clone Wars has been such an influential and impactful show on me. I watched the Clone Wars movie in theaters in 2008 when it fucking released. I watched the majority of the Clone Wars series while it was airing on Cartoon Network before Disney was even a thought in Lucasfilm's mind. You know what I mean? This meant a lot to me to see all these people sitting less than 20 yards from me and doing the voices of their characters on the show and talking about things in the series that I've seen and have seen multiple times and have been thinking about since I was a fucking 7-year old. It was beyond crazy. It meant so much to me. Like I can't even explain it. It was watching my childhood unfold before my very eyes.
Yeah,
So it was beautiful.
I agree. I thanks to Carl hopped on the Clone Wars arc, the whole thing way late. I think what, 2020?
Yeah, you watched it during COVID when they put everything on Disney Plus, and I think before season 7.
Yeah, I think it worked out perfectly to where season 7 finished as I was like getting through it, so it worked out. But I
Yeah,
fell in love with it. There, it took me like, I don't know, the first half of the first season to be like, I don't know about this. And then I was like, I'm invested. And that is, or this can tell you something right away if you've listened to any of the podcast. That is the first show that I sat down and I watched all the episodes for and completely finished without question, didn't hesitate towards the end, just watched it all the way through because I was obsessed. And I'm texting Carl
good.
multiple times a day. Like, what do you mean this happens? Oh my God, I'm in this part. Holy shit, I'm in love with Ahsoka. Like, just amazing. And so I was lucky enough to have done that before the panel, thank goodness. And even as an adult that got into it, I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. This means so much. The things that they were saying about Star Wars that related to life and they've fully taken on their characters personally. Like they weren't like, yeah, Ahsoka's great. Like Ashley was like, I made that character and I grew up with her and everything she does was a lesson to me and I will never forget it. Like it was
Yeah,
amazing.
truly an amazing experience. Something I won't soon forget.
Yeah.
But I think you need to talk about your cooler, arguably, experience that occurred later that same Saturday.
Okay, so we all kind of like we broke up the band after that panel so that we could all do our separate things. Some people went shopping, some people went for a break, some people went for food. We all kind of went our separate ways. And I went Austin was back at Ultra Saber and I found Austin and I was like, "Where's Carl? Where's my brother?" And he's like, "Well, your brother went to go look at ocarinas and Carl and his girlfriend went somewhere else." And I was like, okay. And so I'm like walking around looking for a tall redhead amongst the sea of others. Could not find him. Went to the ocarina stand, even asked, and could not find them. And I was like, oh my God. So
Yeah, we were. trying to find the ocarina band.
So I I was it was me and Hannah, and I was like, all right, well, I wanted to go back there because during all the panels that we saw this weekend, all of the celebrities or actors were like, "Oh, if I miss something, like come talk to me at my booth, or if you have questions, or if you want to see us, or you want to do something, come see me at the booth." And for the 7 fucking years what we've been going, I was like, in order to talk to this human, I need to pay money. Like I need to
Yeah.
purchase tickets ahead of time. I need to pay money. It's an extra experience. So I never even tried. And lo and behold, we walked past and I was like, I don't know, they keep saying this. This feels like they're like trying it feels like they're trying to speak to me.
Yeah.
And so I told Hannah, I was like, do you want to just like go ask? Like just let's go see. So I'm looking for Cody and Carl on the way over because I'm like, hey, like if we can go talk to them, we should go talk to them. Like that was the plan.
Yeah.
Couldn't find either of them. Tried for a while and it was gonna close in like 15 minutes. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Fuck it.
And I went, and a lot of the lines were closed already. A lot of them leave after their panel at the end of the night. And Darth Maul, Sam Witwer, was still there, and there was only like 4 people in his line. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Super weird.
I was like, this can't be right. And there was like a sign, and it had his hours, which were not the right hours. And it said, it like on a sticky note said closed. And I was like, ah, fuck, that's why.
Yeah.
And this like employee, the security guard, whatever, walks by and he goes, "You trying to see him?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, we didn't pay for it." And like, he's like, "Well, what are you trying to do?" And I was like, "We just really wanted to say hi and like thank him for the panel." And he goes, "Okay." And I was like, "What do you mean, okay?" And he's like, "You paid for your like C2E2 ticket. You paid for your badge, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "It's part of the experience." And he takes off the sticky note and goes, "You're the last ones. Get on in there."
Oh.
And
So
so
cool. So awesome.
so we just joined the end of the line, and then I was like, "Damn, like I feel like a dick cuz like these people go there to make money, right?" And I'm sitting here like, "Hello, like hello, Zuko
Hello.
here." And so I'm like, I feel kind of like a dick, but also like that's they're here for part of it. Like they know this is happening, whatever. And we were like getting closer, and this guy walks away with this poster. It's like a 8x11 poster of Darth Maul, and I was like, God damn, that's cool art. Like I wonder where he got that. Like that's so
Yeah.
sick because he got it signed. I was like, wow, that's fucking dope. And we're getting like closer to the table, and on the table there's like 8 different art pieces that you can choose from to purchase there and get signed.
Oh,
And
that's
I was
sick.
like, holy shit. And I was like, that's probably like $200. So we get up there and I was like, we were gonna say hi, but I'm just like out of curiosity, like how much is it for one of the 8x11s? And he's like, $60 with an autograph. And I was like, huh? Wait, what?
You said what?
So of course Hannah and I talked to Darth Maul for the evening and got an autograph.
So
And
sick.
that was pretty incredible. It was a little intimidating at first, and then it kind of just like fell into like a natural conversation instead of like,
Yeah.
hi, good job today. Like
Yeah.
I asked him if he could have a little sidekick with him every day from the Star Wars universe, what kind of creature he would have with him every day, and he immediately, without hesitation, ready to go, went Ewok, duh.
Of course. Sam Witwer's the biggest Star Wars nerd out there.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a really good time, and we learned that there's a whole new world of C2E2 that we had never even scratched the surface.
Yeah. So would have loved to have put that knowledge to use on Sunday, but
Mhm.
then tragedy struck.
Wah, wah, wah.
We went out to dinner after C2E2 on Saturday. Not really sure what happened to me, but I got violently stomach sick on Sunday. Like it was bad. Spent most of the day sleeping and shitting, and um you know, not what you really want to be doing at a con filled with a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping, I was planning on going early because we wanted to get there early because there was on another panel. I think it was Chris Evans' panel was at like 11:30 that morning. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we got to be there like pretty early, like at the start, I'd say. And so as I was waking up that morning and feeling worse and worse, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just like we'll just push it back an hour. Like, okay, we missed the panel. Like, that's oh well. Like, he was probably gonna be fucking crazy anyway. Like, just push it back. And then an hour became 2 hours, and then 2 hours became three, and then three became the rest of the fucking day. And me and my girlfriend, we didn't even fucking make it down there. So that was super super sad. I wanted
That
to get
was super sad.
several more pops. I was hoping, after hearing about Chanel like meeting Maul, I was gonna try and see if maybe I could finesse my way into Obi-Wan or Anakin or any of them. Um, and that didn't happen either. And so definitely disappointing. It was going to be my first day actually going all three. My first year going all 3 days. Typically, like in the beginning, we were just doing one, and then we slowly worked our way up to two, and then we were like, ooh, I don't know. And I finally decided to level up this year, but still, God said psych and said no. So didn't get to attend, but Chanel got to go. She did some pretty cool shit on Sunday. I don't actually know. I know we had said that we were going to try to go see Chris Evans and the guy who played Namor in the new Wakanda Forever movie, Tenel Cuerta, was also going to be there for a spotlight. So I wanted to go to both of those, but I don't even. Those are probably crazy. I bet you guys didn't even try, did you?
We got there right away. We made our way there again for rope drop, and by the time we got even anywhere near the main stage, it
Mm-hmm.
was just fucking swarmed.
Yeah.
Like the whole outside the line and everything, to the point where we were like, there's a cap, like there's an end cap, and we were like, it's not even worth waiting.
No.
Like we're not
No.
even close. So we just decided at that time, we were like, you know what? We're not gonna do big panels today. We're not gonna do long panels today. Like today's for shopping for things we didn't look at because we've been so busy, and also like for little panels. And
Mm.
so we just decided, even though I wanted to see Tenok, we just decided we'll watch them on a stream later because they were all streamed.
I tried to do that, and you have to pay. It's extra. You have to pay a subscription. I tried. Oh, you
You just have
didn't?
to
Well,
log in. I
it
was
told me
watching the
that I
Chris
had to
Evans
pay.
one.
That's crazy. Of course.
I was
When I tried to
watching.
do it, it tried to get me to pay a fucking subscription. So whatever. Never mind that. I guess
I
not.
just did it with the same email that I activated my badge with, and I was able to watch parts of the Chris Evans one already.
Okay. I don't know then.
Um, Either way, parts will be out on the internet soon. Um, so we didn't do that, and me and Hannah were the only ones there Sunday morning for quite some time. So we just decided to like shop and just like walk around, chill. By that time, you're kind of tired already from the weekend.
It's been an
So
exhausting time. Yeah.
we did a lot of people watching. We sat near the Star Wars section, by the family HQ,
hmm
and just kind of people watched for a while because the cosplay, I'm telling you, was fucking on it
Super good
this
this
weekend.
weekend.
And there was like three different things that happened throughout the day where I was like, man, I really want this, or I wish they had these. And every time I said that, like within an hour, we would find that thing.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did some shopping. I got some Tanjiro earrings. We were looking at hoodies. We got free decals and stickers. It was just really cool and super chill. And then I think the only like panel that we actually did, I wanted to go see the Chainsaw Man panel, and Hannah and Austin both did not watch Chainsaw Man. So I was like, I'm just gonna go, like you guys do your thing. And they were like, we'll come with. And I was like, you don't have to. Like it's just
Yeah.
two guys in a room, like. And they came with, and these two, it was a different kind of amazing. They were both just, they were the struggling, like trying to make it in Hollywood, and
Okay.
they were both separately in love with the manga, in love with the character that they ended up getting cast for.
Was it Denji and Aki?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was Denji and Aki, and they were so cute because they were so passionate about their characters, and then ended up getting them, and it was like a little kid's dream come true. And they're both just like amazed that they are where they are.
Yeah.
It's like a different, it's like a flip side. Instead of like the big names that you see on the main stage, it was them being just so grateful that anyone cares and that they're even in this position. And it was really adorable.
Oh, damn. I'm sad I missed that. I love Chainsaw Man. I wish I would have been there to see that.
It was, yeah, it was super cute. And then we only stayed for like two of the Q&A with the fans because we were like, nah, whatever, don't really care that much. Um, one person was like, if Denji and Aki were to fight over something stupid, something not serious, like what would they fight over? And they like kind of looked at each other, and the dude that plays Denji was like, probably something I broke in the apartment. And on command, Aki gets into his voice and he starts screaming at Denji for putting pineapple on pizza. And in half a second, Denji gets into his voice and starts screaming about how he's ungrateful for any food, like how Aki's not grateful for the food he has, and how like I should put cinnamon on it and jam and it would make the pizza better. And they just went into this like in character argument
That's I
on
love
the
that.
spot. It was amazing, so good. Also the guy that plays Aki, his voice is 8 octaves deeper than anyone's voice should be, just naturally.
That's so funny.
So he walked in, he got on stage, was all giddy because we were like screaming for him,
Yeah.
and did the con thing and like winked,
So sick.
sat down and was like, "Hello, everyone," and the room shook. It was fucking nuts. That was
Oh
that
man.
was really fun. That was like a flip side of what we had been seeing, so that was good. And then we didn't have anything to do. So Austin went to a panel that he wanted to do for cosplay, and Hannah and I were walking by the celebrities again, like might as well check it out, last chance. And Jack, so Sokka from Avatar, his line was super short, but he wasn't there. So we're like, are these people stupid or like they waiting for something? So we just hopped in line and hoped for the best because it was maybe like 10 people in front of us, and he ended up showing up about 15 minutes later, and we walked up and his prices were exceptionally nice for what we thought they were gonna be. It was
That's good. Oh, is
60
that where you guys
bucks.
got a pick and an autograph? Because it was separate. You had to like pay extra to get a picture taken with them, right?
Yeah.
From my understanding. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, it was 60 bucks for the poster, the autograph, and the photo.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty amazing. We did that. And when I tell you that I like we walked up to him and I was gonna kind of just be like a smart ass just to start.
Sure.
And immediately it's like we had been friends for years.
That's so funny. I love
And
that.
we were just like me, Hannah, and him were just like shooting it off like we just knew how to talk.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a Water Tribe hoodie and I walked up and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you're wearing that? I have that too."
That's
And
cool.
and I was like, "Yeah, of course you do." And he's like, "No, you don't understand. Like, I was going to this convention with the other guys, and they all called me last minute, and they were like, 'You're cosplaying, right? Because this is like a cosplay thing. Like, we're all
Uh,
going in costume.'" And he's like, "So I had to fucking order something because I don't just have that." And he's like, "So I ordered that hoodie, and then
yeah.
it didn't come on time, so now it's sitting in my closet waiting to be worn." And I was like, "Maybe we'll match someday." And he's like, "We will."
He's so funny.
And then he had been making a recurring joke about tea. And so I was like, I told Hannah like when we were walking up, I was like, I'm just gonna like shoot the shit and be like, so let's talk tea logistics. And
Hmm.
I was like mid conversation about the hoodie, and Hannah like turns and she goes, I got a question for you. What's your favorite tea? And he was like taken aback. He was like, oh, and then it like clicked, like the joke clicked, and
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
cracking up.
Good,
He's like,
good.
"Oh my God, that was so good." But the actual answer is Earl Grey. So, you heard it here first on Rated E for everything. Sokka's favorite tea is Earl Grey,
That's
but
dope.
he drinks peppermint the most because it's decaffeinated and the most healthy for you.
Okay, valid, valid.
So we took a picture with him. He was super sweet. We got hugs. We have a picture with Sokka. I don't know. It's fucking wild. We got an
It's so
autograph.
funny. It's so funny. It's the scene where they're in the desert and he drinks the cactus juice and he's talking about how it's the quenchiest. it's a funny autograph. It's
The
good.
the funny thing is, like, we saw someone before us have that same, they picked the same poster. It's like
Hmm.
Sokka tripping on cactus juice. And he wrote like maybe a quarter of what he wrote on ours.
Really?
But I think that because we were like talking and getting his brain
Yeah,
going, he was,
absolutely.
it wasn't like even conscious because he was writing and he would like look up and talk and like keep writing the quote
Uh,
and then like stop and look and be like, oh shit. And then like keep talking and like keep writing. So it's like the whole fucking photo has like all of the lines. I was like, that's incredible. That's
he's
so much
great.
fun.
That's great.
And then after that, Hannah wanted to go play bingo because we have really good luck with the I forget what it's called. The bingo people they have there. And so she went to do that and I was about to go with her and I look over and I'm looking at Ashley Eckstein's line
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'll try and expedite this because it's a long drawn out story for me, but for you guys it doesn't really matter.
Mm,
Point was her line was closed and it was like almost over. It was like probably about halfway full in the
okay.
column and it was closed and I walked by and there's like two security guards like it's closed. And I was like, "Fuck, well, missed that, whatever."
Yeah.
And then there's a little sticky note that says overflow line with an arrow. And I was like, "What the fuck does that mean? Like what is that?" And I look like two
Yeah.
columns over and there's some people facing like the wrong direction. And I was like, what is going on here? I don't understand what's happening. And I was like, I asked the security lady and I was like, so is it closed or is there like a second line? And she goes, here's the deal. She's really nice. She's closed. She's gonna
Yeah.
finish these people for sure that are in line. And then whoever she can fit in before she's done, like before she says she's done, um, she'll take one by one from the overflow line. And
Oh wow.
I was what the fuck are the chances? Like, am I gonna waste 2 hours standing here? Like, what's
Sure.
happening right now? And the lady's like, it's not likely. And it was like 2:30, and she's like, she's got to leave by 3:30, and she's like the nicest person on this planet. So each
Yeah.
person she has a full blown conversation with.
I mean, of course. Of course.
Right. So I was like, fuck. So I'm like telling Hannah, I was like, I think I'm just gonna meet you for bingo. Like, I'm not gonna waste the end of the day just waiting in line for
Yeah.
nothing. And she was like, just do it. Like, you've done all your shopping. There's no more panels. Like, I'm playing bingo on my phone. Like, just
Yeah.
wait. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Okay. So I get in line. Long story short, they're like, she's done at 3:30. That's it. There's no more after 3:30. Done. Cut
There's
off.
no more. Okay. It's over.
And I was like, well, it's gonna be cutting it close, but all right. We're moving up. Finally, we're getting to the overflow line, and it's like 3:26. Like, and I'm not first in the overflow line. I got
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah. By any means.
And she's taking them a little bit quicker at this point. Like you can tell
Sure.
they're kind of hustling. And I'm getting towards the front and this lady comes up. So the guy behind me is a royal fucking douchebag.
Oh.
Royal fucking like he
Uh.
was behind me with two things signed by Sam Witwer and
Mhm.
he was just bitching about how it's an inconsistent signature and no one's gonna believe that it's real. Yeah,
Bro,
that's the
go blow it out your ass. Go
let me
literally blow it out your own asshole.
another thing that's gonna drive you up a wall. He met Hayden Christensen the last
Oh
C2E2,
yeah.
and so he goes, "I met the real Anakin, so I don't know what this fucking guy is doing here. No one really cares about his Anakin, anyways." Yeah, yeah, and he's telling his kids this.
His
Yeah,
children?
yeah.
Bro,
So this
like
guy's also like, don't get your signatures personalized. Like, make sure they don't write your name because then it loses all its value. Like,
I
that's
don't
this kind of guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, the value that it has is sentimental to me, not my ability to resell a mediocre signature. It's
Right.
okay. I'd rather just hold on to that one. Thanks though. You
Yeah.
fuckface.
He
Like, get
was
out of here.
awful. He was awful. And so this security guard is walking by, super loud in there. So she kind of huffs and puffs past me and the really sweet kid in front of me. And she goes,
Mhm.
"Oh man." she's like, I have a feeling that this is gonna get cut off. And she's like, no offense to you guys. I really hope it gets cut off before you because I've been dealing with this fucker all day. She's like, he's been a pain
Oh,
in the ass. And if I have to
he
cut
was
him
he was
off,
behind you guys.
yeah. And
Okay.
she's like, if I have to cut him off as the last one, like there's gonna be cops. Like she's like, I'm
Oh, good. Did he die? Did he get shot by the security guards? I hope so.
no, no.
Oh man.
But
Did
so
Maul cut him in half? Oh, such
he
a
was
shame.
dressed as Maul, which is hilarious.
Oh, fuck that guy. Even worse. Was it a good cosplay?
No, known as like one of the puffy like Halloween suits.
Oh, oh. Why do you even come?
So I like lean over to the security guard and I was like, hey, listen, I'm seeing her here. I saw her talk on a panel. If it comes between like your safety and like me being a little sad, like cut me off first. Like don't
Sure.
deal with the guy. And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "It's not a big deal. Like I'm already happy. I'm not gonna yell at you." And she's like, "That's really nice." And then like walked away. And okay, there's like three people left. It's going like minute by minute now. It is now 3:37. So she was done cut
Shit.
off at 3:30. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck. So they call the guy in front of me and they're going maybe like 2 minutes at a time, right?
Okay.
They call the guy in front of me, and then there is like 8 minutes and they're not calling the next person. And
Oh man.
I'm like, all right, I did this to myself. Like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
No big deal. And this security guard like leans over to the lady that's taking money for the autographs, looks, drops her head, like does a big sigh, looks at me, shakes her head, and goes, we'll take one more.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So she did cut it off at the asshole. Let's
Yeah.
go. You get to meet her. Fuck that guy.
So I'm passing her, like we're walking by, and she just like looks at me, like gives me a little smirk and goes, wish me luck. And I was like, I love you.
Oh
And
man,
so,
sometimes being nice pays off.
right. And I'm like fucking skipping up to the lady that's like taking the money for like whatever you decide to do.
Yeah.
And this is how fucking sweet Ashley is. The lady goes, well, looks like this is our last one. And she leans over behind the lady, gets a look at me, and goes, that's a good last one. And I was
Oh, that's awesome. That's
like,
awesome.
and we talked for a little while. She was so sweet. She hugged me like 3 times. Um, we talked about my upcoming Ahsoka tattoo and what she thinks would be like the most meaningful for Ahsoka. We talked
What did
about
you
that.
say?
She said definitely get the Fulcrum logo
Yep.
because that is something that she decided herself and became her self-fulfilled destiny instead of something that someone else laid on her.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked about what I think I talked to you about making her montrals into the Fulcrum logo.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
And I like brought that up and she like about lost her mind.
Uh,
She was like, "Wait, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, like the colors of her montrals and like the tips of the montrals into the Fulcrum logo." And she
yeah.
was like, "Oh my God." And she goes, will you tag me in that as soon as you get it?" And I was like, "Absolutely. You got it, girlfriend, for sure."
That's great. Oh, she's so nice. She was so sweet during the panel. It was mostly when she was talking that I was crying.
Yes,
So
same. Last things, I'll wrap it up really quick, but she just took my phone for selfies and I have about 9 of them and she was just like clicking away. And then while we're like smiling all like regular and kind of awkward, she goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm a Jedi." And like holds her hand up for force hand. And I went, this is how I fucking responded. I went, "Oh my gosh, I'm not." And I did peace signs.
that's not.
So
That's good. That's good.
I have that selfie and that'll be prized forever.
How could
So
it not be? Yeah.
yeah. And then I got home and I about had one of my fun food attacks and almost died.
So we all had some stomach issues this weekend.
Yeah. But
Chicago ran through us, guys.
straight up ran through.
Ran through.
And that was C2E2 this year.
A good time, a fun time, and a heartbreaking time, all at the same time. But regardless, a lovely time and a time that I will never forget and will always continue to come back to.
Yes, absolutely. The final wrap up. I got art, a bunch of artwork, Funko Pops, some decals, some earrings, some more earrings, and two sets of dice.
I only got four pops. One was a mystery. I bought three separate. And then had I gone back, I would have probably. I was looking at some Lego minifigures I was contemplating buying. I was probably going to buy dice because Austin was telling me that they have dice sales on the last day. Contemplated lightsabers too, and maybe would have purchased art. So
Good thing the dates are released for next year.
April 26th through 28th. April 26th through 28th. Can't
Run
wait.
it.
Round sound the alarms. Chanel and I have a bet, and it's going on this. So you guys are all gonna hear it. It's not really a bet. I just told her this. I said, I bet Pedro Pascal will be at next year's. And she said, you're probably right. So
Yeah.
I have a pretty good feeling about that.
I feel like C2E2 is just getting bigger and bigger name people as we go. So
I'm hoping I would like what's kind of always shocked me is that how is there no Comic Con level event like at Chicago? Like C2E2 is big, but it's nowhere near like some of these other Comic Cons that they have in different parts of the nation. You know what I mean? At different times in the year, which never really made sense to me considering how like huge Chicago is, like one of the biggest cities. Like, why is as big as C2E2 already is, why isn't it even bigger? And how come it hasn't gotten bigger than it already
um
is? You know what I
I
mean?
do think that it started out as not funded to be so.
Oh, maybe.
And this was actually the year that had the most people ever.
Yeah.
So
So
I think the more they can afford big names, the more people they'll get, the more they'll open it up.
listen, Disney was sponsoring because they showed the Guardians trailer like three fucking times before every panel, which was heartbreaking before every panel.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that C2E2 is just going to stay on the come up.
Yeah, I think for sure.
I'm just waiting for the day when they start getting Funko exclusives. It's over for y'all. It's over.
It's over for us because it's gonna be too fucking crowded to go.
No, I know. Then we're gonna have to go back to lotteries for like they do with San Diego Comic.
Yeah, I'll be so sad.
Fuck that. Oh man, so all around a good time as usual, and I can't wait for next year, and I know you can't wait for next year. I'm hoping to cosplay next year. I didn't cosplay this year; it was an undertaking I wasn't really in the mood for. I didn't want to do Obi-Wan again, and I didn't have any other ideas, so I elected to not.
One day I will, but for now, I have other financial obligations.
One day we'll do a group cosplay. I'd like that. I'd like that
Hell
a
yeah.
lot. It would be
Hell
sick.
yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoy our little recap. I know we do it every year, but I hope that it pushes you to maybe think about going, especially if you're in the Chicago area. You know, maybe you're not really getting your needs scratched because there's not really a whole lot of great Comic Cons that happen constantly around here. So definitely go check out C2E2. It's absolutely worth it. Ticket prices are not crazy, especially for the 3 day pass. I think it was only like 110
With tax.
maybe yeah, and that's with tax, so probably even less for that base. It's 100% a worth it experience and an awesome time, and if you guys have ever contemplated going, you 100% should.
And you
As
can
someone,
find your favorite podcast host
yeah,
there.
yes you can, yes you can. So thank you guys all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed hearing us talk about our nerddom as usual because it's our favorite thing. It's what we love to talk about the most. I think that's pretty clear. So make sure to go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at Rated E Pod. Go check out our girl Yasmin Abed Art. She's fantastic. She just had an art show a few weeks back, so she's lovely. Continue to sell her out. So buy all the art. Do it.
Buy all the
Do it.
art.
Do it. Buy our
Do it.
merch. I feel like I haven't plugged that in a while. Buy some. There's some cool merch. I need to get some merch myself, some new stuff. So buy some of that. We could always use some extra pocket money to pay for
Food.
yeah, and water and my electricity bills. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Rated E for everything. We'll catch you all in on the flippity flop in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you.
We
Bye.
love you. Bye.